Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Film Freaks, the show for film, fun, and all things entertainment. I'm Jesse Galan, and today I'm going to give you my quick review on Avengers Infinity War. Holy crap. That's all I can say. Maybe wow. Yeah, I'll do the wow. Wow. That movie was fan-freaking-tastic. I have to say, it is definitely one of my favorite MCU films of all times now. It's just everything about this film was, man, I just can't emphasize on how fantastic the film is. It has officially become, well, let me backtrack here. I had to create a new category for my favorite films because this movie was so good. It has officially become my favorite superhero mashup film, team mashup film. So, with Avengers, the first one, I mean, a lot of the hype came with it. It was pretty well done. It had a great three-story act, the character development, and the action and the build-up. All that was great. Avengers 2 was a bit of a letdown for me with the villain, just not being very villainy. It's too. They gave it too much character, too much humanistic character, and to me, Ultron should have been like this ruthless guy and fell slightly flat. And then now we go to Avengers Infinity War, and it blew everything out of the water. I mean, wow, the film did. Like, I had my expectations. It was pretty high, but at the same time, I felt like I didn't want to put them too high up to where the point where I felt like I was going to get disappointed. So it was kind of in the mid-level, and it did not disappoint. In fact, it kind of blew my expectations completely out of the water. Just to start off, the film itself, like if you take away the superhero aspects and let's just talk about the story itself, it's nothing special. And it's not me hating it. It's just the reality is there's nothing special about it. But because we have these characters over the past 10 years, had these separate individual story arcs that led up to this moment, 10 years in the making, led up to this amazing moment where there's like this massive attack on Earth, and makes you wonder what's going to happen to these characters. Who's going to die? What's going to happen? Oh, all the struggle and all this and all the love that we've built up for these characters are like put to the test here in this film. And what I loved about the film was that because we've had all these years building up to this moment, it did not waste time creating a backstory or creating some kind of try to create some attachment to these characters because it's already been established. So all we get right off the bat is action, action, action. These problems that they need to figure out how to solve, they go and solve it. And while they go into solving this issue, they run into problems. The teams break up, all these things happen, and then we get to the ending, and it was like, wow, the ending was fan-freaking-tastic. And that is like the quick, no spoiler review. Now, moving forward from here, I am going to be talking about specific parts about the film, what I loved, what I didn't like about the film. So there are spoilers. 3, 2, 1. Don't say I didn't warn you. My favorite aspects about the movie is how they managed to create every scene according to the character. And what do I mean by that? I mean that, like, for example, if you had Guardians of the Galaxy in one scene and it was catering to these characters particularly, the scene itself catered to the style of Guardians of the Galaxy. It was very humorous. This time around, it wasn't forced because I felt like Guardians Volume 2 the comedy was very forced, at least for me. And this time, it was so well delivered. It was right on point. Everything about Drax, of course, always lands perfect. Actually, my favorite scene about Drax, they were having a moment with Gamora and Star-Lord, and then they're about to kiss, and they have this intimate moment, and then you hear, and he's eating popcorn, he's watching them like if it was like some kind of soap opera. Man, that was my favorite part, and he's like, I have mastered. I move so slow, the eyes can't see me, and he's like trying to eat very slowly. and then Mantis comes in and just blows that theory out of the water. Just a fantastic scene, a fantastic moment. Loved it. And then you go into like Doctor Strange, and if Doctor Strange and the other two characters, depending who, like Spider-Man or Iron Man or even Hulk, depending on who is in that scene and who the scene is catering to, the style, the feel, catered to that. So if it was Doctor Strange, you had Doctor Strange. If the scene focused on Iron Man mostly, then the style of Iron Man, the wittiness and all this other stuff catered to that. So I really loved how you have all of these movies that have very different styles, different way of writing it, somehow chaotically, but not so chaotically, meshed up together and gave us a very distinct film. I thought that was fantastic. I mean, like, I can't even describe it other than just you have to go see it if you haven't seen it, because it was done so very well. My biggest concern was because of the amount of actors and the amount of superheroes, I was afraid that the movie was going to be so sporadic, it was going to be so staccato, or, just very choppy, but it wasn't. It really wasn't. Everything felt fluid, everything went well, had me on the edge of my seat. Even Thanos, despite the fact that although I want a three-dimensional villain, somebody like Vader, was very three-dimensional, I struggle with Thanos because when I think of Thanos, or even Darkseid, like if we're comparing them, on both sides, are very ominous, very evil, very... Just these characters, when you think of them, you think the darkest, you think the most villainous, you think no mercy, no love, no this, nothing, right? Just pure void of emotions, emptiness, destruction, chaos. And although he had those features or those characteristics, they try to make us almost feel for him, right? And what I mean by that is there's like this connection with Gamora and how that's his daughter, or he raised her up to be his daughter, and there's like he's cleansing the universe so that so that people are not starving. A very morbid sense of self-righteousness and the concept of a savior, and like as far as the villainous aspect and the chaotic, ruthlessness, merciless, and he would go around and wipe half of the population of whatever planet. Like they show that, right? They go in and he just murders people. But I didn't like the part where they're trying to humanize him, almost making me want to feel bad for him, or try to find a middle ground where I can kind of like, yeah, you know what? You kind of have a point there. Just kill half of the population. That will fix hunger or starvation. That will fix this, the resources and all this other stuff. I wasn't buying it. He's a titan. He's almost a planet destroyer, a guy who's hell bent on trying to become a god by getting the using the gauntlet and obtaining the Infinity Stones. So that was my biggest issue. But aside from that, did they deliver the character for how they built this character for the film? If it fit the bill, and it did. So with that all being said, despite the fact that I personally did not like that portion of the character, it still delivered very well. And and it really, there was moments of this movie that kind of reminded me of Clone Wars and Empire Strikes Back. Of course, you have Industrial Light and Magic, who helped with the design, the special effects and all that stuff, but there was other little things like snippets between Wakanda and the aliens fighting towards the end of the film that felt very Clone Wars, or even Phantom Menace with Jar Jar Binks and that whole scene. There was a lot of similarities that I saw there, and I wasn't a big fan of that. And some of the strategies that they went about, like with Wakanda being the most, very technologically advanced and, very strategical and very smart, they weren't using what they had to the full capacity and decided to do hand-to-hand combat. And I also understand, like, story-wise, if they would have done it the other way around, it probably would have been as epic as it was, and like very climatic, very climatic and very intense and all this other stuff. Yeah, so then that was the one thing that I really didn't like, was just the whole how it felt too Star Warsy, or at least the Phantom Menace. And like, I want to talk about some of the big points of the film where some of our characters died. Oh boy, I got to a point where I did say that yes, some of our superheroes died in this film. You know, as I'm talking to you guys right now, I decided not to talk about those specific characters. But I will say this, that I was very shocked. I was very surprised. And there were moments where I thought certain individuals were going to die. And I was like, oh man, oh yes, yeah. And then they didn't, or they did. And I was like, what? Why didn't they? Or why did they? Or how come this character? I'm very interested to see moving forward what's going to happen, because they left it with the cliffhanger. Thanos got what he wanted, did some serious damage to the team, to the superheroes. We lost a lot of superheroes in the process, and now we are left with the aftermath and the big question: what now? So yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you guys thought about the film. Let me know. Tell me your favorite moments, your favorite quotes, whether you agree with me or not, whether this is your favorite or your least favorite. Let me know, you guys. Peace. All right, guys, thanks for watching our episode.
Yeah, if you liked our video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up.
And if you didn't, you can double click on the thumbs down. Otherwise, don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, and like.
Right on. And check us out on our other social media outlets at Instagram and Twitter. And please tweet us at FF Media News.
Or you can engage with us through our email at ffmedianews@gmail.com.
All right. Thanks, guys.